Alright, hi everybody. Welcome back. We're now about to start the third practice game, We Need Your Assistance, which is the one about the that you play as the scavengers. Now we're on the third level, which is assistant. Things are going to start getting a little bit more like the regular game now. You're going to start the game with less claims, less money, it's going to cost more to upgrade your headquarters, that type of thing. Okay, so let's talk about the scavengers first. Okay, so they're very different from other. They're very different from the other HQs because they don't use steel. Remember how I mentioned before that your HQs need steel to upgrade. They need aluminum, steel, glass usually to upgrade, but they also need steel for almost every one of their buildings. So every faction, generally speaking, wants to make sure it gets a good source of iron and produces a lot of steel. Scavengers, however, don't need steel at all. Instead, their base building material is carbon. They need carbon to upgrade their HQs, and they need carbon for basically all their buildings. So that's nice because there's 5 resources on the map, and the scavengers only have to worry about 4 of them. They can basically just completely ignore iron if they want to. I mean, if iron is super valuable, they can still get it, if they want to. But what they're looking for a resource, and what's great about scavengers is in the early game, generally speaking, people are not really going to be focused on the carbon. So it's like you're looking for a resource that kind of no one else is. So speaking of which, I need to find some carbon. Carbon tends to be found in craters, so I'm kind of looking around the map, seeing if I can find some carbon somewhere.
High levels of aluminum found.
Let's see. Alright, so here's a carbon symbol. See, it says crater, so I might find some carbon here. Oh, look at that, 2 high sources of carbon. And 2 high sources there. Okay, so that's pretty solid. Another good resource for the scavengers is aluminum. Have I found any aluminum? Over here. Okay, so there's high water here, high aluminum here, so founding in this general area would be pretty good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and found here. I'm going to have to ship my carbon from over there, but being here will get me close enough to the water that I can just get it directly, and also pretty close to the aluminum. So put my guy there. First of all, I'll start with the quarries. Put down two carbon quarries because you can never have enough carbon if you're the scavengers. All right, so I'm gonna click here and let me move my head so you can see all the new AIs. All right, so I'm now also grabbing a high aluminum. I got 2 more claims. Water is always a great thing. I'm gonna grab this high water. I don't want to let someone else grab it. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Looking around the map. Let me click on resources. Ooh, there's only 1 geothermal on the map. All right, I'm actually gonna just claim this. I'm gonna hit C. Oh, blocked by another player. Okay. So when you get, for a certain period of time, the area around your HQ is reserved for only you. So no one else can grab those tiles. That's what happened here. Rennie6 decided to found right here. He has exclusive rights to this geotherm. So we'll come back in a minute to see if that geotherm is still there. In the meantime, I think maybe I'm going to go for one of these silicons. There's only 2 medium silicons on the map. So it would be nice to grab one of those. Now, let's see which one's closer. So if you mouse over, it'll actually tell you how much fuel it costs to ship that silicon home. See, it's going to cost 0.37 fuel over here. Over here, it's going to cost. That's basically per second. Per second, this thing will be consuming 0.37 fuel to ship stuff home. Oh wow, it's exactly the same. Okay, well in that case, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll do it over here. All right, now I'm going to toggle off resources. Now I'm going to hit upgrade, get myself some more claims. Now let me see if that geothermal is available. Nope, still blocked. 30 seconds left. Okay, I'll also have to wait that out. And so now I gotta decide maybe some secondary resource to get into, something that's actually gonna make me money. Food is plus 13 revenue. Reactors are plus 10, although they would consume a lot of power. We don't factor the power into the net revenue because power actually gets added to your debt. So sometimes you want to separate those numbers. You're like, I just want cash right now, so I'm okay building a building that's going to consume a lot of power because I just want something that's going to give me cash. But the best actually is the glass kiln, and that's great. I think that if I grab the glass kiln, that would make a lot of sense for me because also glass is something I need to upgrade. So making sure I'm producing glass will be very good for me long term. Alright. 2 more claims. Is that geotherm available? Oh, they got the geotherm! Alright, well, nothing I can do about that. Alright, so since I can't get the geotherm, I think I'm going to probably go for some wind or some solar. Since I'm wind turbines take carbon to build, so that makes a lot of sense for scavengers to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put them here. Wind tends to be best on the edge of canyons, or on the edge of slopes. There's lots of slopes around here, so I'm going to put them here. All right, upgrade my HQ. Okay, so another thing that's really awesome about the scavengers is you get to use the black market faster than everyone else does. Basically, normally you have a cooldown of a full minute every time you click on a black market item, but the scavengers, they only have 3 seconds. So, Rennie seems to be doing all right. Or maybe I want to get the guy who built that stupid geotherm. So I'm going to grab the dynamite. I'm going to blow up the geotherm. Alright, so you see now, I only have to wait 30 seconds before I can use the black market again. So, in the meantime, also I got 4 more claims. Maybe I need to get into some life support, because otherwise my debt's going to get out of control. Oh, there we go. This is the first auction we've seen. The first 2 practice games, I think auctions are disabled. So this, when you bid on an auction, see I only have $500, so how can I bid $14,000? It's because you basically are buying something with a credit card. When you win an auction, it goes directly to your debt. Now why is debt important? We haven't talked about that a whole lot. Debt is important. See, I just jumped up to, so now I've got $30,000 in debt. So if you mouse over this here, it'll give you a breakdown of why your stock price is what it is. Now, if you see that debt somewhere near that middle of that giant tooltip, it says debt minus 28k times 3. What that means is it's when it's calculating my stock price, it's basically, let me grab these claims here just to make sure the AI doesn't. And I'll quickly throw down some reactors. While I'm talking, I don't want my stock price to totally get out of whack. But okay, so mouse over here. So it's multiplying my debt by 3. What that means is basically, think of it this way. $10,000 of debt would have the opposite effect on your stock price as $30,000 of cash. So basically, you need for every $10,000 of debt you have, you would need $30,000 of cash to make up for it. So what that means is if your debt gets really big, your stock price is going to start tanking. And at the higher levels, that multiplier is worse. It goes up to 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. So debt basically is an issue because it can drive down your stock price. Also, every day at midnight, okay, we should see this happen very soon because we're about to get to midnight here. You pay interest on your debt, and it depends upon your bond rating. My bond rating is AA, which isn't too bad. So you pay 4% interest. So you see your debt has accrued 4% interest. I paid $1,000. My debt went up by $1,000. If you're in D levels of debt, which is the worst, you pay a 30% interest rate. So you got to make sure you stay out of D levels of debt, at least until you're more comfortable with the game. You can play with that. It's just tricky. And the other thing that makes it really tricky is if you get to D levels of debt, the entire black market gets locked off from you, and that's very important because you can't use this guy, the Goon Squad. So I'm going to put a Goon Squad here to protect me a little from EMPs and power surges. But when you're in D levels of debt, you can't build a Goon Squad. And your opponents know that. They see you're in D levels of debt. They know that guy is vulnerable to you could mutiny. Like if you have a geotherm making you a lot of money, people see you're in D levels of debt, they know they can take a mutiny and just take that geotherm away from you because they know you can't protect it. All right. So in the meantime, as I've been talking, I've been wasting these, not using these claims. I'm going to actually there's a medium water here, so I'm actually going to put another water pump there because water is doing pretty well. Get another reactor down. You never want to have kind of single building units. You want to at least have 2. 3 is even better, so you get that triangle because each of those buildings give each other 2 bonuses. They'll be each, if in a triangle, each of those buildings will get a 75% bonus. And the bonus is kind of like, it has kind of diminishing returns. The bonus for number of buildings you're adjacent to is 50%, then 50% 50%, then 75, then 85, then 90, then 95, then 100. So you can see that basically, like, once you get past 2 adjacent buildings, like at that point, it's not really going to make that huge of a difference. All right, still got 2 more buildings. Maybe I will. Looks like I need more silicon. I'm negative in silicon, so I got those 2 glass kilns. I'm doing fine. The one thing I'm missing, however, is food. However, again, I only have 1 claim, so let me upgrade first. Give me some more claims. Now I can put down 2 farms. So that's looking pretty good. So one thing, there's one special ability I'm going to try to build this game, teach you about, is the hack array. So I'm going to put a hack array here. This is a special ability. It lets you manipulate the manipulate prices. You may have noticed over the course of the game, sometimes you see these shortages or surpluses. You know, you see iron shortage, that means the price of iron is going to go. You see food surplus, that means the price of food is going to go down. These are random events that happen. The game, you know, basically rolls some dice and determines what's going to happen. With a hack array, you can create those shortages and surpluses artificially. And that's interesting to me because as scavenger, I tend to be the player who cares most about carbon. So there's a good chance the other players don't even have much carbon. So I'm going to hit tab, which cycles through the other... Oh, well, that didn't work out. So if you look at this, actually all the other players, it shows you the lines coming out from the colony. This guy's making, well, this goes to the pleasure dome, making water and carbon. This guy's also doing carbon. For some reason, everyone got carbon this game. What are they not making? I don't see much glass. None of them are making glass, so I'm going to short glass. I know, because I'm the only player making glass. If I drive up the price of glass, that's only benefiting me. So to really take advantage of that, let me build another glass kiln. Maybe put another farm, because that water price is looking great. Let me use the black market again. I'm going to this time grab a mule, because I know that's going to benefit from me. I'm going to use it to grab some silicon here. As scavenger, you're always going to be paying attention to the black market. You see that cooldown go down? Take advantage of it. Alright. Very good.
An expansive HQ has been upgraded.
Alright, maybe I should take a run on one of these guys. Paulo is looking pretty cheap. Because for some reason he's got stuck here. He hasn't been able to upgrade up past level 1. So I'm going to see if I can buy him out to one of those majority buyouts. Because once you buy someone out, they become your subsidiary and they'll make money for you for the rest of the game. So let me see if I can take care of that. Who am I worried about? Alana's doing pretty well. So I'm going to grab a cheap power surge. Knock out all these buildings. See, all these buildings got frozen? They're all frozen for this many seconds. Ooh, a hacker array just came up for an auction. Okay, well I already got one, so I don't really need one. So I'm going to go ahead and let them bid on it. While I'm saving up to buy out poor Paulo. I just need 2 more shares of stock. I'm almost there. However, I think I'm going to just upgrade instead. Because I really want to be moving forward in this game.
Sold.
Alright, so...
Price manipulations to begin shortly.
Getting close. I might need to switch into an off-road market after this. Okay, so what is making a lot of money? Chemicals would be losing money. Electronics factory would be good. Because the primary resources, electronics tends to be worth a lot because they're hard to make. They require 3 resources. All the resources they require are not too expensive, well, with the exception of silicon. So I'm going to go and make some.
The black market is online.
Down to triangle of factories. I'm going to build another reactor. So you only got 2 reactors. I really want to get that triangle going. That might push me negative in water, but look, I've got such a big stockpile of water. I'm going to be fine with that. All right, let me hit Rennie this time. What do I want to do to Rennie? I'm going to blow up his pleasure dome. No pleasure dome for you. He can repair it, it's just going to take a long time. When you use dynamite, you want to hit buildings that are a long way from their HQ. Because he's going to have to, let's see if he's doing it yet. At some point you'll see a little ship go from his headquarters all the way down here to basically repair that pleasure dome. Alright, this should be really close. Oh, Alana jumped in and took a share of Paulo, which knocked him out. So it can be multiple people. If your opponents as a whole own more than half of your stock, you get eliminated. So now, I want to start making a run on want a lot. But I also maybe want to start building an off-world market. This is like the Uber unit. It's at the end that you see in a lot of RPGs at the end of the game. This is the building equivalent of it. This allows you to sell your resources off-world. Let me click on this tab here. This shows you what the prices are for resources off-world. Look at this. Food is selling for $600. Food on world is $230. Pretty good. Off-world is selling for $620. Way better. Okay, in the meantime, let me actually queue up some more. Is anyone making electronics? I don't see anyone making electronics either. So let me do an electronic shortage and a glass shortage again. Alright, so let me put down an off-world market, show you what I'm talking about. Off-world market is very important to put a goon squad on, because other players, when they see an off-world market, they're going to want to target you, because it's really the most powerful building in the game. So it's something that gets hit by dynamite and mutinies a lot. Alright, so... Whoa, wow, food really went up a lot. In fact, let me show you something else. If you hold Control-Shift, you can start auto-selling some of your resources. And that what that means is every time it produces a unit of food, it sells it. Every time it produces a unit of oxygen, it sells it. So your money just starts going up, up, up. It will take care of your life support first. So you don't have to worry about that aspect of it. Carbon scrubbing. Carbon scrubbing is nice because basically what it does is any buildings that consume carbon, like these electronic factories, if you get it, that carbon is just free. However, carbon is also $9, and I have a really good supply of it, so it's not super important to me.
So
What is important to me is starting to buy up Ilana. So I really would like to take her out. Take her out of the game, that is. Alright. I'm going to hit her with another power surge.
An expansive HQ has been
Alright.
upgraded.
So that's, that's going to keep her down. I want to make sure she doesn't get to this last share of stock. And if you mouse over, you can see she's got $15,000. She needs $23,000 to buy that up. So let me sell what I got. 23. I just need 4 more thousand. She's got 18,000. So this is really close. She's 6,000 away from being able to buy that last share of her stock. I want to get there first. I do. She's out of the game. Okay, great. So now I got only one opponent, Rini. And look at this. Ilana, she's making me $55 a second. Oh, it went down. It's basically, it gives you basically like 1% of her income every second. So that can fluctuate depending upon how well they're doing. When a company becomes a subsidiary, it's like they're playing like a simplified version of the game. It's still controlled by the AI, but like they don't bid on auctions, they don't use the black market, they don't use the stock market. They're out of the game. It's just like they're on autopilot making money for the people who own them. Alright, so off-world market. So the thing that would make the most money is food. It's only at 680, so I'm going to click on the launch button. What I'm actually going to do is I hold down Shift. Click there. See that asterisk? That means it's just gonna auto launch for the rest of the game. And when this thing fills up, it takes a minute. It takes 60 seconds. But when it fills up, I'm gonna get $68,000, which would be basically worth 3 shares of Rennie. Unfortunately, Rennie got to 5 shares, so I'm gonna have to buy out Rennie using a full buyout, which will be the first time you guys get to see that. So I guess that's good that you guys can see that. I should take advantage of the black market. What should I do? Should I EMP him? Notice the prices in the black market are going up. Every time you use an item, the price goes up, and it goes up for everyone. Maybe I want to use an EMP. Knock out, because I can knock out a number of his buildings here. If I go here, I can get the wind turbines and the steel mills, everything basically. Even freeze this solar condenser he's trying to build. Whoa, wow, look at the... Wow, Long's gone heavy into solar condensers. That's probably because the price of power got so high. That's probably because the price of water got so high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell all my water as fast as I can, drive down the price. If I drive down the price of water, that means these solar condensers she made are now making very little money. Wow, nice. We drove her down to $5. So now she kind of wasted all these solar condensers. See, they're all now just making like a piddly $9 a second. Adrenaline boost. I want this adrenaline boost. Let me show you what I can do with it. I can boost my off-world market. What adrenaline boost is it doubles the speed of the buildings you hit with it. It's kind of like the... No, it's not the opposite of an EMP, but it's like, it's basically... It's an area of effect. See, it hits one tile and every tile around it, and it doubles the speed of those buildings. So if I put it here, see, my food was going to launch in 43 seconds, now it's going to launch in 26. In the meantime, these electronics factories are boosted too. See, this electronics factory here, it's making 83. These are making 166. They're making double as much revenue as this one here. You do have to be careful though, because if you boost your secondary buildings, like these electronics factories, it's going to be making more electronics, but it's also going to be consuming more aluminum, more carbon, and more silicon. So if you don't have a good supply of it, you know, you might end up, you know, basically driving up the price of those primary resources and hurting the profit that your building is making. All right, let me use the black market again against Rennie. Don't want him to. This time I'm going to knock out his wind turbines. All right, so I bought his last open share. So now I have to do a full buyout. I have to buy all 5 of these shares at once. If I mouse over the buy button here, sorry, my head's blocking the help, but you can see at the bottom there, the total cost for that is $279,000. It's going up because the stock price is going up. I should get that easily once my off-world market ships. In 3, 2, 1.
The black market is online.
There we go, 71k. And that gets me to 240, which is almost there. It's another $40,000. All I need to do is sell this electronics, sell the silicon. Very, very close. Just like 7,000 short. And 1,000 short. He's just slowly eking away from me. There we go. Bang. That's all. All right, so that ends the third practice game. Let's jump into the fourth one.